Hi, I'm Tina Santoro, creator of the Yonan Bo Saga, an epic adventure series full of captivating characters and immersive storytelling set in a unique world. Today, we'll continue to take a closer look at the third book within the series, A Seers Past, where Yonan Bo has gone into a deep vision state, entering the place of the seers, known as the in-between. In this video, we'll explore the children of Babette, a significant figure in the history described in the sources, remembered as a unifier and a leader, known for his wisdom and lasting impact. Yanambo's visions allow him to witness key moments in the very lives of these key figures. As we discussed in part 2 of the series, The Rulers of the Past from Book 3, A Seers Past, Babette was an integral figure. His rule helped to shape the foundations of the world that Yonan Bo knows. Along with his wife, Tianyu, they led the people, uniting the North and the South. I mentioned his two twin sons, Aison and Navu, the sons that initially assumed the roles of the leader when Babette passes away. However, shortly after Tianyu and her son Aison are forced to leave the group, and Navu alone leads the people with priest Ellison and Seku to guide him. But what Navu doesn't know is that there was another son that came before him that was stolen from Tianyu and Babette when they were younger. When he returns years later to meet his estranged family, he soon discovers that only Navu remains and learns about his deceptive events that was used to make this the case. So let's get started and dive a little deeper and learn more about these deceptive ways. But before we do, just a small request. If you are enjoying this content, please give it a like and subscribe and continue your adventure with even deeper dives like this and additional details that I have yet to reveal. Thank you. Babette and Tianyu's first son, Lagona, was taken from them as a newborn infant by a woman from the other people living across Big River. This woman, having just lost a child herself, was inconsolable and possessed to take the child upon sight. His abduction led to a significant peace treaty between Babette's people and the river people. Babette and Tianu agreed to allow the river people to raise Laguna in exchange for land rich with strong bamboo, suitable for constructing shelters. This compromise was made to avoid further conflict and loss, especially after Babette had just unified the North and the South. The leader of the river people threatened war if Babette did not agree. The peace treaty includes an agreement that neither group would cross into each other's territory. When the river people initially took in Laguna, they knew him as a strange newborn, brought back by Ambua. They observed his fitful states when he dreams, and that he was only accompanied by the servants. They suspected that he was not the true son of Calzon and Ambua, their leaders, believing Ambula to be a witch and a wife of the snake god, for mysteriously bringing home into the camp. The knowledge of Laguna varies significantly among different groups across different timelines within the sources, with most contemporary people having no knowledge of him at all. Their written history only extended back to the creation of the great city and the wars of with Avalon, and they had become less diligent in preserving the oral traditions. Yanabo himself notes that no one now knows or recalls any of these lessons about the earlier periods. Even characters beyond the city walls, like Targnus and Cannon, didn't know about Laguna's name. Yanabo, through his visions, pieces together that Laguna was indeed Babette and Tianyu's first son who was taken, confirming this through his own inner encounters with Laguna in his visions. In essence, while the common people in Yanambo's present time knew nothing about Laguna, certain lineages and groups held different or secret or fragmented accounts of his life, his leadership, and his controversial practices, particularly his connection with the snake god Abu, highlighting how oral traditions can become distorted. Despite being raised by the river people, Laguna knew that Babette and Tianu were his true parents. He later returned to his birthland, leading his own group of followers. He had dreams of his true father and mother and his twin brothers. He comes to the people at Side Atri in search of his family. He found the site in disrepair and the people hungry, and was enraged to discover that his father Babette was dead, and his mother Tianu and one twin brother Aison had been banished. He also learned that his remaining twin brother Navu was seemingly incapable of leading the people, with Allison effectively in charge while Navu had grown fat and lazy. Laguna then challenged Navu and ultimately killed him. This leads to the stoning deaths of Ellison and Seku by the people. With fierce fighters accompanying him, Laguna took over, and the people, recalling past battles, generally allowed him to assume leadership without resistance. Laguna eventually became a ruler, providing to be a strong leader. He ruled for 34 years and introduced the father god Chaos, the snake god Abu, leading to the use of child sacrifices. He reinstated the daughter-wife ceremony. However, he preserved the tradition, using the children from these unions for sacrificing to his newly introduced deity, the snake god Abu. Under his rule, the snake god Abu replaced all other gods. Laguna also took several main wives, as the daughter wives were primarily used for birthing sacrifices. Despite people living in fear of him, Laguna's rule was peaceful in terms of internal altercations. But what happened to Aison and Tianyu after they were forced away by the people? Here we'll leave the snake god practices of Laguna and travel across the mountain divide of the West. After the death of Babette, his wife Tianyu and son Aison faced a dramatic and ultimate violent expulsion from their community due to a power struggle with Navu and the priest Ellison. Ellison viewed Aizon's dreams as a condition or a health issue that made him unfit to lead. Tianyu, however, insisted that Babette intended for both Aizon and Navu to lead the people. During a ceremony, Aizon attempted to share his visions of a great, wondrous place where the people could end their nomadic lifestyle. Navu heatedly opposed Aizon's idea, calling them crazy dreams and demanding he retract his statement. Ellison orchestrated a theatrical display using green and red flames and a thick smoke from the sensei plant to accuse Aizon of being possessed and bewitched by the evil spirit of Ninox. He claimed Aizon's plans were dangerous and they would kill them all. Despite Tianyu's impassionate defense of Aizon, comparing his visions to Babette's mother sonnet, the crowd was swayed by Ellison's pronouncements and a lightning strike that hit the tree, which Ellison interpreted as a divine sign. The people began to yell for Aizon to leave. Aizon and his wife and Tiano quickly packed up, fleeing in fear, running for their very lives towards the Great Divide, the mountains that split the valley into two, while the crowd threw rocks at them. Yonan Bo witnesses Ellison's observing them their flight with a sly, devious smile upon his face. Aizon, along with his mother Tianyu and his followers, were banned forever from the main group and went over the big mountain to the east. He is known as Aizon the Dreamer and was drawn to the ways of the south, learning about herbs, plants, and healing practices. He had vision dreams of a great, wondrous place. It was Aison who established the first city, Avalon. The city was envisioned as a place where people could no longer roam. They were living instead in sturdy abodes and growing their own food. The pathway to Avalon is located over the Great Divide, the mountain that runs north to south that splits the valley into two. The city of Avalon is also known as the Red City, being built with red bricks and having a tall walls guarding the people within, an enormous entryway that is chiseled and carved out of a marvelous boulder. It features the gods and the nature within the entryway leading to the grand village. The ruler house of Avalon is enormous, masterfully crafted, sculpted reddish bricks with several rows of steps leading to the entrance and a large terrace supported by two columns. This house was recognized as the ruler house before it collapsed. The city also has fountains and elaborate water systems, including a dam that diverted water into the city and wells to force water upward, creating multiple fountains throughout. The terraces on the side of the mountains are used for growing crops and grains. Yonan Bo frequently visits Avalon in his visions, witnessing various periods of its history, from its construction to its fall. Things we'll examine in future videos. These are just some glimpses into the lives of these pivotal figures, whose choices and fates ripple throughout history, influencing leaders yet to be discussed, like Mandu, Ashta, and Naimu, and shaping the very traditions and beliefs of the people of the great city, Avalon, and beyond. To truly understand how their individual struggles, alliances, and betrayals laid the foundation for an entire world, and to discover the full scope of their legacies, delve deeper into a Seers Past, the third installment of the Yonan Bo Saga. Purchase your copy today and uncover the hidden truths that connect the past, present, and future. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. We'll continue to explore the fate of Lagona, worshippers of the snake god of boot. Hope you have a great day. Bye.